Good morning. Today we are doing some beautiful Moules Mariniere, a real classic throughout the entire year. And we use mussels from our very dear friends in Teignmouth, River Teign shellfish. They're road grown, they're fantastic, and they're from South Devon. Mussels are a beautiful ingredient people often get confused with. So one good way to see if they're still any good to use is by just gently closing them. And then let it reopen, and they stay wide open, throw them away. For this recipe, you're going to need the following ingredients: 1 shallot, stick of celery, 2 cloves of garlic, a bunch of flat leaf parsley, quality white wine, double cream, 30 grams of butter, and mussels. I use 500 grams of mussels per portion. With the shallot, what we're going to do is you're going to make incisions going from one end of the shallot towards the root without cutting through the root, so it manages to keep the shallot intact. Once you've done that, you're then going to make an incision going between the shallot and the board, so it creates a gap between the two. This makes it easier to cut it into small chunks. And then carefully run your knife across the shallot, chopping the shallot into small, friable pieces. We're not a chef, it doesn't have to be super accurate, but smaller the better. Now we're going to chop the garlic. Again, we are just looking to chop this into very small, friable pieces. So just slice across it and then roughly chop until you get the desired size you're after. And now with the stick of celery. This is a bit of a rogue ingredient. Not everyone uses this, but I was lucky enough to cook in some of the most fantastic restaurants across the UK and live and work in France and Sardinia. And every time I make mussels with white wine, I'd always use the celery. Its sweetness elevates the dish and the colour makes it look beautiful as well. So you just finely slice this across the stick of the celery and then roughly chop over again so we have the nice friable pieces. Now the vegetables are chopped, get yourself a heavy bottomed pan onto the heat. I use pans like these. If you do not have any, you can use a deep saucepan. Put some good quality olive oil in there, get it nice and hot, hotter than what you usually cook with, and then add your chopped vegetables. Mix it nice and hard, making sure they don't catch, and add in your butter to 30 grams. Keep mixing this again. You do want to make sure that they do not burn, okay? So keep mixing the vegetables in with the butter with your spoon, mix it nice and hard. And then we're going to get the white wine ready. The easiest way to towel this is just use a large glass and pour it full. Now that should be the perfect amount. There's no need to get any measuring jugs out here. So you get one large glass full of white wine ready to go. Now we're going to get the mussels and we're going to put these straight into the pan, okay? I've already checked they're all closed, so they're all good to go. Add them straight into the pan, keep giving it a mix, give it a shake, and now follow in with the white wine. You'll hear a beautiful sizzle and you'll get the most incredible smell coming right now. If you have a lid, put it on. Now I want to leave these for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, remove the pan and take a look. Wow, perfect. The meats are all starting to expose. They're cooked beautifully. The smell in there is magnificent. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to add a bit of the double cream. And we're going to leave the lid off to let that reduce. Mix it in nicely. Allow those flavours to mix together, the cream to thicken and reduce. And in the meantime, we're then just going to chop some flat leaf parsley to garnish it with. So we're just going to add this parsley into the mussels pan now, get it in there. And again, mix it around nicely so it all incorporates. And the final touch of this mussels recipe is a good few cracks of black pepper. It makes all the difference. It elevates this recipe massively. And the smell, you're getting right now, the smell of this is beautiful. Now, if you have a big spoon, it's the perfect time to use it. I've just moved house this week and we have no big spoons here, so we are using this. So you can watch me struggle. But all we're going to do is just transfer the mussels across into a nice dish, a nice bowl, taking the sauce with you, and then we're going to top up with sauce at the end anyhow. And as you can see on this board, no mussels dish is complete without some lovely thick slabs of bread. Again, being gluten-free, I have used gluten-free bread. If you want to be a true French person, you can have a lovely baguette. The way I like to eat my mussels is use an empty shell, pinch them straight from another one. Yeah, they're magnificent. Rip some bread off, get it in there with the sauce. So I hope you enjoy. Let us know how you get on making this recipe, and we'll see you next time.